Okay, alright. Welcome everybody to Pizza Party 2019. Alright, anyway, this is Hyperstone Heist. This is the Turtles game for the Genesis. It is really fun. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff. But first we're going to let this start. And time will start when I land on the ground. After this cutscene, and we're gonna let it rock. So this is, yeah, it's a lot of borrowed assets, but it also has a lot of original content. This game is a lot of fun. I'm gonna try and keep it together well enough to, yeah, explain as much as I can. But basically, Raph is really fast on the ground, and he does the most damage, which enables me to, yeah, knock out foot soldiers with 2 hits. Anyway, countdown is going to be, yeah, here in a second. And, alright, and 3, 2, 1, time. Anyway, so here we are, we're in the sewers. It's pretty normal place to start. Yeah, Shredder has the Hyperstone heist, and basically we have to stop him. On the way, we encounter a bunch of enemies in the sewer, so we're gonna keep them grouped up as much as possible, and see how it goes. In this game, yeah, run is a dedicated run button, and it's a really good thing because, needless to say, you have to run a lot in this game. Whoops. Also, you can do flip tackles and get instant kills. And the rest is basically that 2 running attacks will kill any enemy. So you can have a bunch of different backup strats and stuff, and you can use jabs in combination with basically any running attack to get a foot soldier knocked out. Anyway, here we are. So this is Alley Cat Blues. You may recognize it. It's a slightly different. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh, and then sometimes if you don't lure that guy down right, he'll go up to the top there. And then for that segment there, we like basically line up to the right above the top of the trash can. Oops. And then yes, we get that set up there. And then for the that last segment, yeah, we're basically whoops, sorry. Yeah, basically just that pizza or the knife dudes. You can line up near the top, and then basically you wait until the knife guy throws them, and then you can walk down, and then you can jab and run free special to knock everybody down. Alright, here we go though. So now we're in the sewers. Yeah, this is a lot of the game. Lots of enemies, lots of groupings. So we're using flip tackles to get 1-hit kills on people. Otherwise, you're just trying to figure out the fastest, 2-hit combo basically to take them out. And the rest of it, there's pretty much just a maximum of 4 foot soldiers. So there are certain screens that you can spawn by just even guaranteeing like getting 3 like foot soldiers knocked off the screen at the same time. Whoops. Oh wow, that was a nice little slowdown. Exploded. Also, yeah, for these, you shouldn't really be afraid of them. On the way up, the pizza monsters, they actually don't hurt you. So you can actually just like, and then any of your running attacks will also just pretty much take him out. So you don't have to worry about them. You can just rack up some points with them. But yeah, if you're afraid to lose health, then yeah, you'll get it eventually. Anyway, here we go. So, whoops. Disagree. Okay. And then for this boss, it's pretty cool because you can set up anywhere, and because you can walk the whole screen like 5 times. This Raph is so fast. But you basically want to get on the left side of this shadow, and then you want to flip tackle in. And then I tackle, free special. And then just 1 pixel down. Oops. Oh gosh, sloppy. Alright. Yeah, and in this game, your health also counts down at the end, so you want to generally be like as low life and in a specific place as possible to prevent walk time. So that was okay, but it was kind of sloppy. And here we have the classic surfing stage. In this one, I'm not really sure I'm not sure how time save in this split works, or if, because sometimes it really does seem like this split is a little bit faster. Anyway, I always go for points, so we're gonna probably lose way more life here than we really ought to, but it's worth it. Yeah, so this is my little script pretty much, and then I'm pretty bad at the Mauser section, but anyway, it's just this part of it. Yeah, so there might be like ways to reduce like lag in these sections with, I don't know, maybe killing like a certain number of Mausers or picking up enough pizzas, I don't know. But anyway, we're gonna get ready to go to the ghost ship, where we're gonna have another trap. In this game, there are like traps in pretty much every stage, and to varying degrees of how messed up they'll get to you. So we're gonna have some floor planks. Another classic trap, and unfortunately that those fireworks up there, they're really far out of the way. So we're gonna just bypass them completely. Similarly to that pizza. Now, if you're at like 1 health, like, and you're actually in risk of losing a stock, then yeah, you should probably just go up there and grab it. Oops. So there, I shifted down just a little bit because I knew that plank was there. Yeah, and then like before you get to certain screens, you want to make sure that you're like on a specific plane. So you'll see me like shift before I get into a running position for the next one, just so I know that I'm in the right spot for it. Oh gosh, whoops. Hugs. Free hugs. Yeah, so also, yeah, one thing about this game is that slide gives you invulnerability. That move right there. So, yeah, you don't use it every time that you run. And I'll explain why in a second. So you have free special, this move, which does more damage than slide, so you do want to use that, but it's also like the inputs that you have to do for either of them. And what I'm trying to say is that slide is a 3-button input. It is run, jump, attack, as opposed to the slide move, which is just run and then special, which is attack and jump at the same time. Which is why it's called free special. And shouts to the TMNT 4 community for telling me about that name. Anyway, so this doesn't sound problematic because it sounds like, oh, you can just press buttons and get, invincibility anytime you want. Well, that's almost true, except that if you press all 3 buttons at the same time, you don't get an input. You don't get an attack, you don't get a run, you don't get a jump, you don't get a special, you don't get a short hop. Yeah, you don't get anything. You get absolutely nothing. So, while you get that invulnerability for sliding, you need to make sure that you're not pressing all 3 of the buttons at the same time. And that's pretty much that in a nutshell. Okay, so basically this boss here, Rock City, he can be a nightmare. He can kick you, and he can shoot you, and he can charge at you. That doesn't sound bad until you try to hit him. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to stay right outside of his range, and we're going to do some damage. And if we're basically going to use some spots on the ground as rocks. Basically they're just, yeah, use them as indicators to keep him on the outside. And that being said, I didn't really pay attention, so I kind of didn't use any special attacks. And that's that fight. Yeah, so lost a little bit of time, but I did a lot of damage. So here we are. This is Hyperstone Heist, where it's like very clear. This is where the game is its own game. So this is original. This is a great track. It also is cool because it's like it makes you feel like you got somewhere, like you got outside. And anyway, so I'm just a big fan, so don't mind me. There, you can use that rock to put your Psy in the middle as an indicator, and then you can just jab free special and then get the. And then for that one, yeah, just wipe out those guys. Go back to the middle so that you can set up the flip tackle to get those 2. Okay. Yeah, and again, yeah, lots of flip tackles, lots of free specials. And if things get out of control, you can always just double tackle an enemy too. So like, when you're like, that is a really rewarding way to keep enemies in check once you start getting used to some of the movement. And it's still extremely useful. Here we go. So we messed up this grouping, but it's okay. Yeah, you can basically set up flip tackles and stuff. So yeah, so when I come in here, I come and use the candle. Oh yeah, and similarly, this is also an original stage, and yeah, it's really cool. So we have a couple of new traps. So there's one of the new traps, some spikes. Basically, this is when you learn that in this game you use aerial attacks technically, but yeah, this is you want to fight on the ground in this game because your run attacks are really just insane. That being said, even though Raphael is the best, every turtle's slide and free special will 2-hit every foot soldier. So they can't use like double tackles to get kills, or they can't use a single flip tackle and get kills, but they can still do all the grouping tricks that Raphael can. With the exception of like jab free special. So yeah, here we go again. Same thing. Just lots of like setups, and then for the knife throwing or the shuriken throwers, you can use tackle, flip tackle for invulnerability, or you can use slide to get them. Sometimes you really want to keep them standing though. So knowing when you can use your flip tack or your tackles or your flip tackles to gain iframes, and it also shifts your movement too, like depending on when like the tackle comes out. Alright, here we go. And we're going to go for a really basic kill on this guy. You can always emergency slide across the Tatsu, and then you can free special in the corners. That's what we're going to do. Keep the movements down to a minimum. And the biggest part about this is that once you start it, you want to learn to wait. You wait until he gets into the corner, so that your free special gets 2 hits per free special. That way, when you get your 4 hits, you're getting 4 hits, and then that way you only have to do 2 free specials in a corner. And then at my low health on the last one, instead of opting for a free special, I just did a regular special and depleted my health some. So if, you know, going all the way to Shredder's hideout and everything wasn't enough, we're going to do a little bit more Pizza Monsters for points, in case you need to get another stock, or you maybe just want more points, or maybe you just want to wait a little bit before we start the boss rush. We're going to fight slightly alternate versions of the bosses, which they're not really different at all. I don't even know if they have less health. They might have less health. They definitely have different colors. Tatsu's I didn't really notice until much later, but anyway, here we go. So same thing, except some of the bosses we're going to be using more conservative strats because we're not trying to deplete our health. So, and hopefully he comes down. Okay, and if not, you just go down and chase him, and you can get damage with like free specials or specials, but the tackles and flip tackles are nice because a flip tackle rewards you big damage, and then the tackle rewards you easy stun lock. So for this boss, you wait, you hug the walls. Oh yeah, and that's a big thing. Hug the wall when you fight this boss. Hug the wall, do your tackles, flip across the screen. Just like I said, the biggest thing is staying on the outside and not running back into it. Yeah, and if you're like that short distance away from him, and you're hugging the wall, he'll only go like that short angle, which is a like perfect angle for the flip tackle setup. And then so this next boss, he is a classic of TMNT lore. It's going to be none other than, we all know him as the second villain in Turtles history, Baxter Stockman, except this one, it's the cartoon version. Anyway, so we're gonna, usually you have health for specials, but we're gonna basically just try and short lock, like hop kick, stun lock him. If we get knocked out, not a big deal, because we'll basically get health to for specials, but yeah, he basically just goes in his 8 arc, and you can just go back and forth. Usually this is the part of the run where I have a meltdown and lose a couple of stocks. Because again, yeah, you don't really use jump attacks in this game, so it's just a little offbeat for it. But yeah, and when he's lower in the cycles, you can get ground specials on him. And alright, and here we go. Everyone's favorite place. The Technodrome. Yeah, so it's kind of, again, yeah, pretty familiar. With some things on its own. Some interesting little things in this version of the Technodrome. But nothing too crazy. Yeah, still the same thing. Lots of grouping. So this group, like, you can hug like the top right, or the bottom left, and basically do that same pattern that I did. You basically just slide, and they all run in. The 4 of them will run into the slide, and then you can just use a jab or whatever you want on the other one. just go over there. Don't be too afraid of these guys, especially if you have health. There we go. That's the setup. And here's one of the points in the game where you actually get downtime and you actually get to stand still, just waiting for these Mausers. Oops. That's a situation where, yeah, you wouldn't want to use the flip tackle. Oh yeah, sorry. Got a little focus there for a second. Yeah, so some of these groupings, yeah, really fun to mess around with. And when you really start going, like a lot of your strats and backup strats, like they just, they'll just start coming out naturally. Okay, maybe not that. Okay, grabs are bad. Except that they're still okay. They can cost a lot of time because in situations where you could grab, you could do other stuff that would be faster. But it is better than being hit. So if there's a situation where you have a bunch of enemies who have one hit on them, you can use a grab to avoid damage. Of course, I tried to do one there just to show that you could use it to avoid traps as well. Whoops. Okay, and here we go. Whoops. Okay, I actually didn't know if that was going to be enough, so we're going to have to do the backup strat here. And yeah, we're alright. So remember when I told you that like tackles like can come through and be your friend? Yeah, they're really good. Alright, and so for this boss fight, the biggest thing is that you basically want him to take a certain amount of damage so that he skips a bomb cycle. And this setup is it's the risky setup. If you set it up on the right, he'll for some reason, he won't pop, whoops, oh gosh, so we'll probably see bombs. Anyway, so that was almost a good fight, except I did a couple of jabs by accident. So here's some bombs. But yeah, if you set it up on the right side, basically you'll get 5 out of the 6 free specials, and then he'll basically run away for a second. And if you miss him, you're gonna that's when you're gonna slip into start losing a bunch of time. But the reason why you do it on that side is because if you get the setup right, you don't have to walk that really slow pace, that full screen. You only have to walk like half of it. So it's a risk, and it's something that I took, and that's because it's really rewarding to go for it and get it. But it's not too hard. But like I said, if it gets out of hand, it's not going to save you that much time for the risk sometimes. As opposed to if you hit him from the left side, crank from the left side first, and then free special him to the left, and then to the right and to the left. It's pretty much like it's very consistent. Yeah, and then this is like just knowing which side the enemies are going to come on and setting up flip tackles and then slides and whatever your setup is. I mean, there's optimal stuff, but there's also obviously what works for you. Yeah, so you get a little bit of a that's okay. And you get a little bit of downtime between these setups. and yeah, and that's all I have to say about that. And then for this, you basically can take as much time on these groups as you want, as far as I know, because you can't get in that door. Because I don't think that you can get if you get all 4 of them at the same time. Oh yeah, also when I was talking about it, see, like I didn't get any movement there. Like no buttons came out, even though I pressed all 3 buttons. So yeah, if you panic and you just hit all the buttons, you're gonna die too. So that's something to be to take note. So this boss, we're basically gonna keep Shredder half of the screen away, and we're gonna push him to the top of the screen. That's basically what's gonna happen. Except we're gonna get hit by the fire because why not? So yeah, the safe strat is that you can just do a slide from full screen and then do free specials. But if he actually throws a blue, I think that you can set up big higher. Oh, and also time is actually going to be on last hit, which is like really, yeah. So that's actually time. So yeah, if he throws up the blue magic, you can probably set up like a flip tackle and then free special, like loot, and it probably will save. It might even save like a whole cycle, or maybe just a couple of hits, but. Anyway, yeah, that's Hyperstone Heist. It's really fun. It's really fun. Yeah, so yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed it, and if you haven't actually given the game a chance, check it out for the original stages, the Great Run button, and Blast Processing Sound Chip. Yeah, wow, thanks everyone for the GGs. Yeah, it's a whole list of people. Also, thanks Speed Gaming 2 for having us here to celebrate yeah, the great legacy of Turtles games. And yeah, I hope everybody enjoys the rest of the runs that are coming up. And let's see if there's anything else that I missed. There's not really a lot of downtime in the game, so when you start, it can be kind of overwhelming. I don't know if there's anything that I really mean to enjoy other than these great character portraits that are coming up. So yeah, this is it. Yeah, and this is the extended ending that you get for beating the game on hard mode. So yeah, oh okay, yeah, and pretty good time, definitely. A lot of really good sections. So yep, okay. Alright, well yeah, sorry, that was way too much fun. Yeah, even as much as I've played this game, I still just I still get overwhelmed with how fun it is just to run and get all those enemy groupings. And the cool thing is that anytime that you make a mistake on like one group of enemies, you're like just given an opportunity to come up with a solution to put yourself back in it, instead of it being I mean even 10 seconds, you know, well per mistake or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, that's the DOS upgrade. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, so I hope everyone enjoys the rest of the runs. There's a lot of good stuff planned for today. And again, yeah, thank you for having me for, if not my two of my favorite Turtles games. And yeah, you should, if Leo is legit, you gotta do Leo. Someone's gotta do Leo. Someone's got to be the leader. The battle commander. Anyway. Yeah.